Ding dong YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Jobless Coder, and it is the 31st day of life here in the Bow Valley following a fire on the 3rd of July that destroyed my home. And I am here at Sunshine Village now. I just got off my work schedule at Trappers, and so I'm doing some laundry and I'm going to film this video. Today I got to clean a grease trap for one of the barbecues here on the deck, as there was a grease fire that happened a couple weeks ago. And it happened outside here. I don't know the extent of the fire. You know, it could have potentially lit this building on fire, which would have been a shame. It's almost 100 years old. It seems to be a reoccurring theme here with the fire. I don't know exactly what burned as a result of this grease fire, but in the grease trap, which I emptied out today, there was about 2 or 3 inches of solid white powder. It looks almost like, I would say, baking powder or baking soda, and then you realize that it's actually not, it's ash. And so it was kind of bizarre to look at the ash as I'm cleaning it out and realize that this is all that remains of the majority of the things I used to own, as far as I'm aware. There's probably 8 feet of it in the Charleston building because it was significantly larger of a fire. But yeah, just black and white dust is all that remains of my previous life. So that was interesting. Today, I got to find out how it is that the tips here work at Trappers, which is significantly different than the food and beverage department in Lake Louise, in that we actually receive envelopes with the cash with the tips, whereas the tips were added automatically onto my paycheck every 2 weeks in Lake Louise. And from what I've been told, we're going to be getting the tips every week here in this brown envelope. So that's nice, of a little added bonus, given that I'd have to wait 2 weeks for pay before, but now I'm going to be getting a little bit of top up on the money every week, it seems. So I'll find out in the future when that comes about. Some of the other interesting benefits that I have here is that I can make food basically whenever I want, which is nice given that yesterday the only 2 options for dinner was some vegan dish and a platter of salmon. And I am not vegan, I eat meat, and I don't like seafood. It literally makes me nauseous and triggers my gag reflex. I'm not allergic, but I can't stomach it. And so I ended up making a burger last night, and then one of my colleagues seen me here eating the burger, and then later on I scooped up some ice cream, and then I was eating that too, and he's like, "Bro, do you ever stop eating?" And I'm like, "Nope," and my parents can attest to that for sure. So yeah, that's kind of how the work situation has been over the last little bit here. Just working solid 8-hour days and taking a half-hour break to go and sit with everyone for dinner here. It's basically the only time that I get to visit with the people and my friends from Lake Louise anymore. It seems that things are starting to wind down and I would say get back to normal or usual. They're going to be clearing out on the 9th of August the room where all the donations have been put in. They've already cleared out the room where all of the items retrieved from the fire are. I don't know at what point they're bringing in the demolition crew. We were told 2 to 3 weeks, but that was like 2 to 3 weeks plus some ago that we were told that. So it could be another month, it could be several months before they bring in a demolition crew and start clearing out that area. And it's probably going to take several months to do so. It sounds like the intention and the plan is for everyone who is residing here in Sunshine Village to be moving out on Saturday. And that's not a lot of time from now. So it seems that these daily vlog updates are going to be winding to a close fairly shortly here, because I don't get any updates anymore. I've been taken off the email list, and while I'm in the Facebook group, hardly anybody posts anything in that group, and on a rare occasion, someone will actually post the full contents of the daily email that's sent out by HR to all staff, but I'm not staff anymore, so I'm not included in that daily email. I assume that if the email pertains to me, if there's a third round of donations to be paid out, in which case I will get an email, or if I have mail to pick up, then I'll probably hear from the housing department. But other than that, my only source of information at this point now is talking with the people that are here. And when they're gone, I'll be basically out of the loop. I'll be as clueless as to what's going on in Lake Louise as everyone else in Banff or the Bow Valley area is. They only hear it from third-party sources. So, while I was eating dinner tonight, they were actually drafting an email to the housing office requesting that they can stay a little bit longer here, given the fact that they feel, and I feel too, that they're just frankly not ready. It seems very rushed, the process of moving everyone out of the hotels and the RVs and here in Sunshine Village into the place, given that they only have 2 washers and 2 dryers for the entire facility at this point. And you've seen them in a previous video. You can go back through my old videos and you can actually see the washer and dryer set up under the deck. And it was bad enough when there was 40 or 50 people staying in RVs. Then they moved everyone into the hotels there. Now there's 80 plus, upwards of 80 people that are staying there now, and they want to move another 20 or so people out of Sunshine Village and do that. It's just not sustainable to have 100 people share 2 washers and 2 dryers and limited showers, and from what I've heard, limited bathrooms. It sounds like they've been having issues with hot water all week. I heard someone say that they turned off the electricity today, and so there was a period of time where nobody had any electricity to do anything. So yeah, it sounds like they're still in the process of trying to get everything like situated and more permanent, and I don't even know if they have Wi-Fi set up. So given all of those circumstances and the fact that the facilities we have here at Sunshine Village are actual staff accommodation buildings with hot showers and electricity and private bedrooms and all of that, they're hoping, and I'm hoping too, that they can stay a little bit longer, because I like to visit with my friends, and it's going to be sad when they go away and I don't really see them anymore. Yeah, I can go up and visit and go to Lake Louise for the day or whatever, and then maybe if I get lucky I can catch someone like on shift and see them in the resort, but then you can't really visit with them, right, because they're at work and they have things to do. So yeah, I mean, my only source of information is just what people tell me, and in the discussions we have at dinner. Every night we go to dinner at the same time, and for me, that is the only time I get to see them anymore. And when they're gone, that will be the end of my source of information, my ability to talk and visit with my friends. Yeah, I can always message someone on social media, but like, I'm not going to message them every day and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, can you tell me what's going on? No, it'll just be what it is. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with regards to their email if housing gets back to them. And I can only imagine it's a logistical nightmare for the housing department to have to try and find a way to move so many people so rapidly into what is frankly not an adequate living arrangement. And so for them, they might actually be like, oh yes, thank you, you've saved our life by giving us extra time to get things ready. If you're willing to stay in Sunshine Village, then be our guest. That could be a possibility. They could also just say, no, it's too expensive with the bus and the cost of fuel and transporting you here every day, and you're not working full shifts, and so they need to get them back there as soon as possible. And when that happens, then that will basically be the end of it. I'll probably still do videos in the future, updates on pertaining to me, whether or not there's more payouts from the donations, whether or not we hear anything with regards to the insurance money coming through. All these things are potential factors for the future that I have to wait and anticipate and potentially look forward to. So, yeah, that's kind of where everything sits at the moment. I also heard that the food arrangements there are not that great with regards to the fact that they are running out of food, it seems, so I'm told. So they have, keep in mind, a buffet that happens every day, and there can be upwards of 400 people in the buffet, and now you're going to feed an extra 130 staff members breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which you didn't have to do before. So, from what I've been told and heard, they are running out of food because they haven't figured out that magic number yet of exactly how much supplies they need to order to be sustainable and self sufficient. So that all takes time, you know. It wasn't a part of the plan for the ski resort to be feeding all of their staff. It was us that was responsible for our own meals, but that was because we had a functioning kitchen with a stove and a fridge, and we went and got our own groceries. But with none of that available to, well, not me, us, anyone in Lake Louise that's still employed, then the ski resort is now basically catering to everyone their meals every single day. And so that can only be, as I imagine, a logistical nightmare for the food and beverage department. And speaking of the food and beverage department, I mentioned my coworker yesterday who said that he was quitting. Apparently he's just getting a different job within the ski resort, so he's still going to be employed for Ski Louise, but he's not going to be a dishwasher anymore. That still means that they probably have 0 dishwashers left, which I can only imagine is a nightmare for the kitchen staff, and I feel so bad for everyone having to deal and put up with that because they had nothing to do with this, frankly, and now they're going to suffer by having to double and triple shift and extra duties and all of that they didn't have to do before. So that's kind of how it stands, and I guess as long as I can, I'll continue to provide information for those who watch the video. Thank you for watching the videos, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video out with your friends, and I will see you in tomorrow's update, which will be the 1-month anniversary of this tragedy. And until then, adios.